Hello ladies and gentlemen, here is my 36th video message related to COVID-19. It's June 4th, 2020, 3:30 p.m. According to official statistics, there are still 11 cases in the Quebec City MRC and now at 185 for the whole Gaspésie de la Madeleine. Of the 185 cases, there are still 8 deaths, and now we are 166 cured, thus a total of about 11 active cases throughout the region. First topic of the day, let me wish you a happy Gaspésie Day. As tradition dictates, we wear blue, the color of the sea, to show our pride in belonging to this beautiful region. Even the sky has put on his blue clothes for the occasion. The team of Vivre en Gaspésie has prepared virtual activities and the filter to add to our profile picture on Facebook. So proud Gaspésians from here and from elsewhere, of origin or adoption, from art or reason, let's proudly celebrate our belonging to our Gaspésie. Second topic of the day. As part of its post-COVID economic recovery plan, the Quebec government has put a series of issues on the fast track. This will be a way to bypass some administrative processes and start work more quickly. Among these files, there are 4 in the Gaspésie, 3 of which relate directly to the town of Gaspé. So they have put the move of the MTQ garage from the downtown to the Augustines Industrial Park, which has been expected for several years. The rehabilitation of the railway is also targeted. We had managed to convince the Quebec government to go faster, so they act accordingly. The third file concerns Minister Marguerite Blais' promise to set up seniors' homes, which will be larger and more human for elderly people. The CISSS has primarily targeted Rivière-au-Renard as the location for the first seniors' home of the Marguerite Blais model in Gaspésie. Apart from this, we do not have a lot of details about that subject. So it's a CHSLD type project, so it doesn't change anything to the other projects in progress, like the one at the Petit Cap residence that is underway with the SHQ. The project continue to work anyway, even if the CISSS builds its own project in Rivière-au-Renard. Third topic of the day, I was recently asked if we wanted to replace Souris in Prince Edward Island for the sea service to the Magdalen Islands. Currently, for fear of contamination of the COVID, the maritime provinces do not want Quebecers to go through their province to give the Magdalen Islands. One of the Quebec's closest port to the Magdalen Islands is the port of Gaspé. So the port is now owned by the Quebec government, which also has its maritime strategy. Whether for a short, medium or long-term service, Gaspé would be an advantageous solution for Quebec. Instead of Quebecers spending in New Brunswick or Prince Edward Island to enter or leave the islands, they would spend in Lower St. Lawrence and in Gaspésie, fuel, food, hotels, accommodations, etc. So the idea of the Port of Gaspé comes from the Magdalen Islands deputy, and I spoke to the politicians in Quebec City to show that we support this idea. Fourth topic of the day. A quick update on our draft bylaw on camping in public spaces. So I had to give several more interviews on this subject today. You should know that campsites in public spaces have been supervised for a long time in almost all tourist towns in the Gaspésie. In New Richmond, Carleton, Chandler, Percy, even Matane, Saint-Anne-des-Monts is in the same process as we are now. So we are not in advance, we are late if we compare with other cities in Gaspésie. So the beauty of the regulatory process is that between notice of motion and the adoption of the bylaw, there is time to communicate, consult, hear, and adjust. the council is open to adjustments. So I want also to tell you that it's not a bubble that has blown in our brains. This bylaw is a request for guidance that come from the business community and the tourist community, the campsites, the shopping center, etc., and which is a part of a regulatory coherence all around the region. So it's not just an idea from the town council, it's a demand from the tourist community and the business community. So I just want to tell you that I read just about everything that is said and written. Debates of ideas are always healthy in a community, in a democratic community, as long as it's done in respect. So hurtful insults are useless. Constructive suggestions help to improve. So the issue of beaches often emerges in debates among the for and against. Some want to protect these fragile environments, while others love to enjoy these places of relaxation. We understand all this, and we also understand that our power as municipality over the beaches is limited because these lands belong to the Quebec government, not to the town. So currently, we take the time to listen, to finish documenting, to analyze, and if necessary, we will adjust to the desires to reflect the majority of individual and corporate citizens of the Grand Gaspé, knowing that it will never be unanimous. We will work with the majority. All arguments are good as long as they are respectful of the contrary view. Fifth and final file of the day, as announced on Monday, our children's play areas are now open as permitted by the government. As everywhere else in Quebec, it's the responsibility of users to ensure their health and their safety, including the respect of the 2-meter standard and the washing of their hands before and after the use. The display is being installed on the huge territory this week and in the beginning of the next week. On the other hand, we are still waiting for clear guidelines regarding the toilet blocks at the beach, at the road stop, at Berceau du Canada, etc. The toilets will be open when and only when Quebec public health directives are received, assuming the guidelines are realistic and applicable. As soon as we have these answers, we will come back to you. In closing, if you have any doubts or questions, the 1-877-644-4545 number is still there for you. Thank you for continuing to follow the basic guidelines, the basic rules, the 2 meters, wearing a mask, frequent hand washing, no hand in the face, etc. It's your civic duty. Every person has to do their part. Be careful, it's important. Happy Gaspésie Day, everyone. It's going to be fine. Thank you.